Let's get into it. I just started recording. Alright. So we're now at the glossary. Um, this is the table of contents. We have about 13 chapters so far. Um, when you have this course, just wanted to let you know this course is going to be updating and changing over time as well. There's going to be new things being put into it, more slideshows, more chapters into it as crypto progresses and more groundbreaking discoveries and innovations come out to the world. I'll be updating it accordingly, and I'll occasionally also be doing videos for the course, going over the entire course again, or maybe even starting from the point that new stuff is added in, and then recording based off of that part to continuously update it and talk about everything, so that this small investment that you just made is going to be an investment that's going to last you a very long time, as long as crypto is going to be, and it's going to be forever. So you know it'll be there's always going to be an educational part to crypto section and to my brand as myself teaching crypto. So you'll always be educated and brought with me on how much I know. I'll be able to teach you that. So we have the world. We have the who am I. We're gonna talk about who am I first, real quick, so that you guys can gain a sense of understanding of who I am and what I do and how I got to this point. We got the world events thing. A couple. I just fit in a couple slides showing different things that have happened that involved a very big amount of money with celebrities and um, countries and stuff that have adopted crypto. Then we have the world of crypto, which is just the intro. We got the what is crypto, mining, keys, safety, apps, staking, smart contracts, decentralized apps, proof of stake and proof of work, and then we'll be going over a few research tools. And by the time I upload this, I'm gonna have some. Well, after I upload this, I'll add some more research tools as well. So there's gonna be more things for you to see, and I'll have a description under that specific app, so you'll know exactly what it is as well. So let's start. Who am I? So my name is Nicholas Reyes, and I'm currently 18 years old. I was born and raised in the city of Philadelphia, which I currently reside at the moment, and I graduated from Orleans Technical College in 2021, where I received my property maintenance and repair diploma for PMR. Um, I actually was and it's a program where I got into it for free, thankfully, and I was able to get my diploma and uh, my high school diploma in 6 months, which was really good. So as someone who grew up in Philadelphia, not being wealthy came with its downfalls. Me and my family moved to so many houses throughout a span of 10 years, and that sucked because I was never able to develop many lifelong or childhood friends without having to move away maybe a year after meeting them and becoming great friends with them. That sucks, but it's fine. As I aged, I became more and more anxious and insecure with myself to the point that I would even dislike going places because I would feel like everyone would be talking or looking at me, probably laughing. You know, it was just things that your mind implants inside your head, and your thoughts create your reality. So that was my reality at that point. Because of that, I became depressed. I felt like I couldn't understand why I felt this way, and I just wished I could be happier with myself at all around in those times. um, so fast forward a few years of school, video games nonstop after school, high school relationships, struggling financially, smoking very frequently, smoking weed. I never smoked cigarettes, but I was smoking a lot of weed, and even leaving my house multiple times because of arguments with my mother. We didn't have a very great relationship, and it's still we're patching it up and everything, but it just wasn't the greatest. There was hardship, so I pretty much managed to get to the lowest point of my life, but that also managed to be the start of the best turning point of my life. I had managed to fully grasp that I was in charge of my future and what I got out of my life as I was, going through these things. And I ended up moving in with my aunt, staying over there, and that was when things really took a turn for me. When I was in that basement and I was just going through it, and I made the decision that I wanted to change everything. So it was in those moments that I decided I wanted better for myself. All I wanted was to change my situations and turn my life into a direction that would benefit me for the rest of my life. And I was willing to do whatever for it, all to make sure that I would never have to struggle or worry about finances ever again. So I started my trading journey back in 2018 when I stumbled upon an entrepreneur's page. His name was Nick Legend. And after taking a look at some of his posts, I found out that he was living this specific lifestyle because he was trading the foreign exchange market, known as Forex. I then took some time to search out what it was, and thankfully I informed myself through a few videos, and I was able to understand it all. So because of that, I became very interested, and I decided I wanted to buy his course. And it was in those moments I became fascinated with the idea of me being able to make money from my phone whenever and wherever I wanted, essentially creating myself financial freedom over time. And that was what I wanted. I wanted to not have to worry about stressing about finances. I wanted to make sure that I never had to worry about paying bills or see my parents, stressing over it, or not being where they are in life because they didn't navigate their finances correctly, or they still haven't done it. I don't want to be that age and still not have my stuff together with finances. I wanted to make sure I put the work in and get it. You know, I wanted to change my family line. So I've been learning ever since, and eventually I had found out about Bitcoin and what was going on in this thing a lot that allowed the Bitcoin to run 24/7. It was called the blockchain. So I began to invest a bit, and it didn't take me long at all to realize that this was going to be huge, and that investing now would definitely make me a millionaire in the future. And so will you. You will be a millionaire if you listen to this course and you watch it fully and you apply what you know. You have to apply it because I could teach you everything in this course down to the T. But if you don't take that time and you don't apply what I'm telling you, you're not going to be a millionaire. You're just going to be someone with knowledge stuck in your head, and then it's just going to go to waste. You don't want that to happen. You got people depending on you. You depending on yourself. Your future self wants you to do this. So you better take the opportunity and you better make sure that you are following through with your goals and what you wanted to set for yourself even before you bought this course. You told yourself you had that motivation. I want to get rich. I want to do what I want to do. So you better go do it. I'm serious. So, and I knew it would make me a millionaire in the future, and it would do it way faster. So I had pulled the money, and not that it has to be always fast. Patience is very good, but it was just something that I knew was going to be something that was gonna make me a millionaire, and it was gonna be fast regardless of whether I wanted it to be or not. It was gonna happen because of the way everything is set up, and we're early, and I got in at the right time. I got in when, all these things started to change. I got in before all these big ass companies started to, switch in and add crypto to their portfolios and add NFTs to their company and the utilities. But shortly after, like a couple months, like 2, 3 months after or so, all these companies started investing. Every company that talked trash about it years ago, they're all starting to change their minds and they're adding it to there. And now they have sections in their businesses that they're dedicated to hiring people that are very informed about blockchain technology and making sure that their company is able to stay adapted to the way the world is changing with crypto. So because of that, I had a lot of money in stocks. I had a few thousand. I had money I had like 1.5 or so shares of Tesla. I had a good amount of Ford, like less than 100 or so. I had some Nikola. I had just like a bunch of random stocks, right? That I felt confident in, like Neo and all that. And I took all that money out, pulled every last dollar, even my dividend stocks, such as like Anali Capital. I took everything out of there, and I put everything in crypto, everything. And it's pretty risky, I know, but when you know the risk and you know what it'll do, and you know that eventually over time it might not happen this year, it might not happen the next year, but 10 years from now or so, people will eventually realize, due to all the work that everybody that does understand what crypto is, all the posts that they make on social media, all the information and videos that they put on YouTube, and all the people that they change and make knowledgeable on what crypto is, that's going to slowly build up the rise, and it's going to slowly get crypto to where we need to be. And we'll be successful because of the work we put in now, and because we're doing this now and being early. This is like investing in oil before, you know, the Rothschilds or whoever, like all the people that struck gold, that people that found all these crazy investments, the steel industry. Before these things became booms, they were, they weren't thought of like that before. There was a whole different way of living before people started to realize how it was making life easier, how it was making building houses and building businesses and buildings easier. Before, a store of funds became easier. You know, crypto makes all of that easier. So, and we getting spicy right now, and I'm not even actually at the start of the course. I'm only talking about me right now. So I began trading, staking, and holding my investments in a few coins that I was very fond of, and it all started from there, really. Throughout the year of me learning, I was able to become very educated within the crypto space, and I was able to make very nice returns on investments, such as $200 to 3,000, $500 to 4,000, 1 or 200 to 1,000. I was able to do that, and I never pulled out. I never pulled out any of my money from these coins. I've always stuck diamond hands. Some of them I sold, but I didn't pull it to my actual cash wallet, my bank account. I've always kept it in there, and if I sold some, I reinvested it into another thing. But and many other investments that I've done that got me these returns in less than a week or 2 weeks at times because of me being early due to my research. Um, Sometimes it would take a month or so, but even a month, that was 100 to 1,000. That was a 10x. Like, where are you gonna get a 10x on stocks in less than a month or so? Unless you're just a straight candlestick technical analysis and you watching it, or the company literally just did something that's gonna crash them to crap, and you hopped in right at the right time. But don't think that after this presentation you're gonna make it in you're gonna make exactly what I made in your first week. You need to take some time to understand it all, and eventually it'll come naturally. You just need to make sure that you understand it and then start to apply it, and I'm sure you will get it. You will get it. So as of now, I currently run and manage a few projects and companies that I'm working on, such as my own clothing brand called Victim of Circumstance. It stands for VOC. I got a crypto organization, especially that I'm, making this course for. It's called Crypto Section. And I have an NFT club that I made, and I'm releasing NFTs for it. It's called the Space Parasite Club. It's a private club, and I'm the leader of it. There's a lot of unique benefits and utilities that I plan to add over time. Definitely check it out. Right now, we're gonna focus on the course, and I'll definitely have a video. You can check it out on my YouTube channel. I'll have a video soon that describes what the Space Parasite Club is and how I plan to allow it to benefit you for investing into it as well. So I try to balance my time and make sure that each project gets its fair share of focus and attention to details so I can output my most top-notch quality content and energy. Now enough about me. We're done finally. Let's begin. And a quick side note, I highly recommend taking notes. You don't retain more than 60% of the info you learn if you leave it all up to your memory. There's so many different things that you go through throughout a day, and you store all this information in your head. You won't remember all of it. You're gonna forget most of it with even in the same hour. You're only gonna remember maybe 2, 3 sentences. You need to write these things down, and then you can come back to it in your notebook at any moment and check it out. Even if you have this course, you're gonna have to, look at specific parts of the course and figure out what I said and everything. It won't be as effective. It'll be effective, but it'll make it even more effective if you write it all down, and then you can just flip right to the specific note. And on top of that, you'll be writing it down, and that's a good way of manifesting and putting your thoughts down, and you retain that easier. So let's look at some world events involving Bitcoin and crypto in case you didn't know yet. In 2021, September 7th, El Salvador became the first country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender, making Bitcoin useful as a currency to buy goods from almost anywhere in the country. Meaning right now you can go to Starbucks, you can go to McDonald's, you can go to tons of different places, and you can buy food or buy items with Bitcoin. That's big. That's big. And already they have another thing. AMC has just started accepting Shiba Inu, and Tesla is also accepting Doge payments for Dogecoin, and a lot of other companies are bringing in crypto, and it boosts their sales up a lot. I'm not gonna lie. So I definitely recommend that for you to know what all this is and learn it, especially if you're a business owner. So Crypto.com strikes a $700 million deal for the naming rights of the previously known Staples Center. The deal is set to last for 20 years, and the name change was put in action on Christmas Day 2021. That was crazy. Everybody knows the Staples Center for, the Lakers, and being over there, people have been over there countless times, and that's been a big part of a lot of people's childhoods. And for that to become, something crypto related, something that in Crypto.com, they came out 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and they were able to strike a $700 million deal, and that was just for a deal. That wasn't even the total amount of money that was in their actual company. So that's pretty crazy. They were founded on June of 2016, and it only took them 5 years to do something as big as that. To amass that much money that quickly over such a small period of time is mind blowing. Seriously. So Tom Brady and Gazelle Bundchen, if that's her name, correct me if I'm wrong, but they decided to join the FTX crypto exchange and trading platform, which was created by Sam Bankman-Fried or Fried, with an equity stake in the company. And they also did an ad. They got an ad campaign worth $20 million that they also agreed upon. So that was pretty good as well. That's You see, every one of these deals is involving millions of dollars. It's not, like 100,000, $10, $200. These are deals that have a lot of money in it because these celebrities are realizing the potential as well with it. Um, so Odell Beckham Jr. decided to accept part of his football career salary in the form of Bitcoin, and this was announced October 2021. Steph Curry now also accepts part of his salary in Bitcoin. Um, Shaquille O'Neal, or I forgot who it was. Snoop Dogg also joined the metaverse with crypto, and there's this cryptocurrency called the Sandbox. They have like this gaming metaverse where you can buy land on there. Snoop Dogg he has a big plot of land, and he has a digital version of his mansion in there, and that's pretty cool as well. You know. So have you realized just yet how big this is all? How big this all is yet? Like, this is big. This is very big. Um, you definitely want to stick around and you want to check what it is. Even if you invest and don't even look at your wallet anymore, do that. That's probably the safest way to prevent you from, selling, because crypto is volatile right now. You don't want to hop in. You got $1,000, and next thing you know, you take a $200 loss or so, but you haven't even took the loss yet because you haven't sold. You could be down 300. You could be down 80% of your investment, and then tomorrow or 2 days from now, you're up 200% past your break-even point. Like, you need to just throw your emotions out the way, take your emotions out, and store them somewhere else. This is crypto. Once you put this money in here, it doesn't even matter anymore. It doesn't matter until it gets to the profit target that you want it to be at. You know. Or if you got a whole 10 years, just don't look at it. Just keep investing in it. So now we have hit the front page. This is the world of crypto. It's an always evolving presentation and course by me, Nicholas Vargas. So let's get into it. What is crypto? So crypto, or also known as cryptocurrencies, are digital/virtual tokens that can be used as payment for physical goods and services across the internet, or used as utility for a specific use within a company. These coins are also secured by cryptography, ultimately making it almost impossible to counterfeit or tamper the network. Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin and blockchain technology, noted the system of code made by him as an electronic payment system based on cryptographic proof instead of trust, ultimately removing the need for a middleman or a central authority to maintain the value of the currency. such as the US dollar or the euro or the Great Britain pound. Um, so the blockchain. The blockchain is a system that Bitcoin and all other cryptocurrencies are integrated into. The blockchain acts as a ledger or a book that records all the transactions made on the network and then stores them into these things called blocks, while keeping everything contained in a chronological order, meaning from first to last, like a chain, hence the name blockchain. These blocks cannot be rewritten at all. Once the transaction is finalized, the transaction will then be timestamped into history by being stored in a block that can never be altered again. The blocks are every transaction that happens, everything that happens on the network, it all gets just stored into these blocks, keeps them there, and then a new block opens up, and the block that gets newly created contains the which block was behind it, the information of the last block and the block before. Like it's all set in a chronological order so that it keeps everything from first to last, and so that it validates and secures the network to make sure that everything is the way that it needs to be, and that nothing is, corrupt or tampered with. So there are more than 17,000 different cryptos running on the blockchain and able to be accessed with thousands of different breakthrough innovations ranging from multiple industries such as real estate, retail, art, artificial intelligence, AI, fashion, and more. Really, there's literally limitless potential with crypto, with NFTs, with all these things. They're all essential, and they're able to make our lives easier with our businesses. It just makes everything so much more easier. Um, and I'm gonna explain how. But right here we have a few coins. We have Bitcoin right here. We have Ethereum right here. We have Theta. We have Clearpool right here, and this is Polygon. So Theta, if you don't know, is it's like Twitch, it's a streaming platform for games, and if you want to just stream yourself online, it's a decentralized streaming platform. That is amazing. Like, and they talk about it a lot more on there, but that's like the most simplified version to explain it. Clearpool is a company that is bringing tokenized credit and uncollateralized liquidity to institutions and investors, and allowing anybody to be able to take out, collateral loans and stuff, and you can borrow and lend coins to people. It's very cool. And right now, as of this recording, I'm staking my Clearpool, about like 700 or so, on KuCoin, the exchange, for 100% APY. 100% APY. That's crazy. Right here we have Ethereum, which is a smart contract based application. It pretty much runs off of smart contracts and allows other people to build decentralized applications on top of it as well. And they run off of proof of work, which I'm going to explain as well. And then we have Bitcoin right here, which is a decentralized cryptocurrency that it was the first ever cryptocurrency as well. And I'm going to tell you guys what that is as well in a few minutes. So how does crypto run? Bitcoin and all other cryptos consistently run 24/7 due to power around the world using graphics cards for the computational power that they offer and indulging in an act known as mining. By doing this, the GPUs are adding security to the blockchain and also allowing them to profit for their contribution to the blockchain. Without people mining and ensuring the security of the system, the blockchain wouldn't be able to push transactions through and the market would collapse until people start mining again. But, for the market to collapse, every single person would have to stop mining. They would have to shut down all their graphics cards, and nobody would do that, for the reason being that if everybody stopped using their graphics cards and mining and gaining these rewards, that would mean that there's going to be a massive flow of transactions that need to be validated and secured onto the network. That means that that one person that does decide, all right, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of this. He turns his miner back on, and he reaps the benefits of all the rewards for securing every single one of those transactions. All those gas fees, he's going to reap. He or she is going to reap all those benefits, and that's going to be a lot. He'll be the only person that's mining and bringing new coins into circulation and discovering new bitcoins. And each time, right now at this present moment, each bitcoin that you discover with your graphics card or mining rig, you get 6.25 bitcoins. Bitcoin right now is 42,000. So 6.25 bitcoins, if you were to mine one right now at $42,000, would be $262,500. So could you imagine having a miner running in your house that you spent maybe 1,000 or less on, or 2,000, and it decided to mine a block, it found a cryptocurrency, it found a Bitcoin in there, and now you just came up more than $200,000. That's crazy. So that's why nobody would stop mining. Everybody would always keep it on because everybody wants to reap the benefits of it. And the only way really that the whole, cryptocurrency, everything would shut down and we wouldn't be able to use the network, the blockchain wouldn't work right now, would only be for the purpose that a power grid got shut down and all the electricity in all of our houses and everything just crashed. That would be the only way. But that doesn't really happen. It would have to be a worldwide one as well for that to happen. And, that really wouldn't happen most of the time unless something catastrophic happened to the world. And at that point, maybe cryptocurrency wouldn't matter in that moment. Our lives would probably be more at stake. So you don't have to worry about a collapse for that reason. And so what makes Bitcoin and crypto so important? How will this change the world forever? You know, one tip I can give you is governments can't control what goes on in the blockchain. They can't take people's coins. It's decentralized. They don't own it at all. They don't. They can't tamper with it. They can't log into a database and then take everything. They can't do it. They can't stop transactions from happening or shut it down. It's code and it does exactly what it was made to do. And it's run by thousands, hundreds of thousands of different people that are, or millions of people that are running the blockchain by having all their graphics cards running, ensuring that it doesn't get shut down. We're the ones running it. And the reason why I feel that Bitcoin is going to be so amazing is because let's take a look at the U.S. dollar, for example. I'll give you a couple examples. The U.S. dollar is crashing right now, crashing to the ground. It's just getting beat up more and more and more. We have trillions of dollars in debt that we couldn't take on, but still the government decided to throw it out there and give it to people. I mean, to take these loans out. We're in debt massively, and on top of that, just last year in 2021, the U.S. printed more money in 1 year than we have ever printed in the existence of the U.S. dollar. In 1 year, if you were to take a look at a chart right now that showed the how much money was printed last year, it would literally be a line going and then just a massive spike all the way upwards because of all the money that we've printed, that the government has printed, not we, the government. You know, it's ridiculous. And so because of that, massive inflation is happening and prices are just skyrocketing on things. There's pictures there's people that have posted pictures at stores where even a Tide Pod packet that comes with probably like 20 or more or however much, that thing is literally like $30. Before all this stuff happened, you could get one for probably $12 or less, and it's more than 30 now. You know, chocolate bars like $12. All these things are just gaining in price, and then we don't even get paid enough to actually sustain that lifestyle of all those products flying up in price. Some people are getting paid $12 an hour. Some people are getting paid $15 an hour. Waitresses probably, I don't even think that they do get paid at all. They get paid commission off of tips. They get paid a very, very, very minimum wage and then tips after that. How are you supposed to survive with like $7, $8 an hour? So how are you supposed to manage living with $7 an hour if you can't even, you get $7 an hour, that's 2 hours just to buy a chocolate bar. If you're getting paid $7 an hour, that's like 4 or 5 hours just to pay for a pack of Tide Pods. That's slave work. That is slave work. It's ridiculous. And we shouldn't have to live like that. We shouldn't have to live like that. So With that being said, that was one reason. That was one reason why Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will overtake the US dollar, and why the governments and all these major companies, they're rarely going to be using the US dollar as a means of payment. Some stores in Philadelphia right now don't even want cash. They want only debit cards. There's a Wendy's not too far from me that doesn't take cash as well either, if I'm not mistaken. It only takes credit or debit. You know, on top of that whole coin shortage that was happening as well, it's just a bunch of ridiculousness going on. And so another reason why Bitcoin is so important is because let's look at this. Let's take a look at this. Right now, if we look at a state or a city or a country, whatever, right? Let's take a region in the world that's very poor, very poor. They don't have a lot of money at all, and you might have some that popped up in your head, one place that you know, or maybe your family lives there, and you know that they're going through it. They have a very, very, very big struggle, and the reason you came to the United States was probably for that reason, to get away from that, so that you could live a better life, or so that your parents brought you here so that you could, create a life for yourself that doesn't revolve around poverty, you know. And with this being said, a lot of these states, these regions, I'm gonna just call it regions. These regions, they're very poor. They don't have the materials that they need. They don't have the funds and the currency that they did make for themselves. No other state, country, city has found it valuable to them. It's like, let's say cavemen, right? Let's say cavemen they made their own currency. They took rocks, pebbles, like the flat rocks, and they etched their own, symbol on it and the value of that as a means of, tradable goods, let's say, right? And but this isn't valuable at all. Nobody wants it. The United States will look at them. They're trying to do trading with us so that they could get materials that they need or the nutrients of vitamins that they need because they can't get it at their island or at their land. They can't get it there, so they gotta outsource their vitamins. They gotta outsource their wood or their metal so that they can build sustainable housing and whatever they need to build. They can't build that with um, pebbles. They can't give that to the United States. The United States is gonna look at them like, "What is this? We don't want your money. We have a very great economy, from what they say. We have a very great economy, right? And we can get anything we want, really. What makes you so important that we have to, take your pebbles and we're coming out at a loss right there to make sure that you're good? What are you benefiting us? That's how they're gonna look at it. That's how they do look at it, and that's why a lot of countries and a lot of regions in the world, they're very poor. They don't have the funds, or the payments, the wages over there, they're just horrible. Everything is just horrible. It's hard. It's very hard to live out there, and they can't outsource their work. They don't have a payment that is tradable unless somebody came over with US dollars and gave that to them. Unless somebody out of generosity of their heart came and did that for them. But that stops right here. When Bitcoin comes into play and these states and these regions are able to, put their native currency or obtain a currency, right? And oh my god, my movie recording stopped. My card is full. Alright, so my card is full. My camera is down. I'm gonna have to just continue talking. So, they can't, um, they're gonna need to find a way, right? They'll get their money in a Bitcoin wallet, right? So that they can have a new currency. But the great thing about Bitcoin and this new currency is that with that, they'll be here. Wait, I'm setting up my camera. With this new currency that they'll be able to have, they'll be able to trade anywhere in the world at any point in time, wherever and whenever. Meaning instead before let's say they had pebbles as the tradable goods, their currency. Now they can partake in a worldwide currency like Bitcoin or um, whatever other currencies, Ethereum, and every other currency that is um, used as a payment type of cryptocurrency, and so they can grab that and they'll be able to trade with anybody in the world just by sending their cryptocurrency to that person, just by having their wallet address. Just by having their wallet address, they'll be able to send this money over, and then somebody will receive it damn near instantly. And then they can get started on your order, or now they can send you the tradable goods, yada yada yada, whatever it is. It's achievable now. And now this poverty-stricken region no longer has to be filled with poverty. They can get goods delivered to them whenever. And the great thing about cryptocurrencies, the great thing about all this stuff, right, is let's say we took into account, right, that they don't have, how are they even going to get money into Bitcoin, right? If they don't have any tradable goods, if they don't have any money. This is where airdrops come into play. This is where something such as people, right now you can hop into a project and you can join a whitelist or an NFT project, or you can a new cryptocurrency that's coming out, right? You can get an airdrop sent to you. Well, airdrop is pretty much a distribution of funds that are usually typically for free, right? Let's say there was this great cryptocurrency coming out and they were doing an airdrop. This region partakes into that airdrop and does whatever requirement was needed. Sometimes it's just, following the page, or sometimes it's just sending them your wallet address, or sometimes it's partaking in their live, whatever it may be. It's able to be done for free. They get those tokens sent to them after they do whatever they needed to do for free, and now let's say a little bit over time, or when the coin gets listed, it's worth money now. The Ethereum name service, the one of the domain websites for buying an Ethereum wallet address, instead of having a whole long numbered seed phrase, a public key, you can have a name such as like nick.nft or nick.wallet, so people could just input that and send me their funds instead of having to put 30, 40 different keys, 30 different letters. That isn't my actual wallet, by the way. That was just an example, but that's the way that people would be able to, it becomes easier. And so they can get these airdrops, and then over time, with the ENS service, they did an airdrop, and just for people buying a name off of their a wallet address, a couple months later they did a airdrop, and they sent everybody that bought a name a couple coins. They sent them a few coins of that cryptocurrency of their app, their website, right? Those coins added up to more than $1,000. People were getting, I think, $1,000 to $2,000 or more even as well for just partaking in that software by doing something. And not all the time it doesn't have to be them buying something. That was just in that case. They got distributed more than $1,000 for free just for doing that. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? So now you take these regions, they can be poor, they can be poverty stricken, not have none, no terms of payment, but come on here, find a cryptocurrency, get an airdrop, or even find somebody knowledgeable enough to create their own cryptocurrency and then distribute the funds to everybody in that region and create a new currency that can also be traded for Bitcoin, that can be swapped. No matter what currency it is that they're in, they're able to partake in a worldwide currency and a network that can be, money can be swapped to something else just like this. You don't have to go to, you don't have to take a plane, or you don't have to go to a certain residency, a certain business, and then swap your money to get a certain type of money before you go to this country or go to this place. You can just have all the money in your wallet, on your crypto wallet, on your phone, or on your ledger on the device. So that makes it very, very different to go from a region that was very poor, very poverty stricken, to now everybody has a new form of payment that can also be used from anywhere in the world, and they can send money to China, or they can send money to the United States. Now they can partake in active goods and actually get the materials, the vitamins, the wood, the metal, everything that they need. They can now get, grants, loans to build their economy, whatever it may be. They can do that now. They don't have to rely on people with the generosity of their heart. They can force their way in, and they can change their economy just like this. And I feel like that is one of the most important reasons for Bitcoin and why crypto is so important, because it can fix the world's economy and it can make sure that poverty doesn't necessarily have to really be a thing at a certain point, especially when businesses all start to use crypto as a form of payment, you know? So let's get more into it. So let's look at mining, okay? What is mining? Bitcoin mining is known as the process of creating and discovering new bitcoins into the circulation of the total circulation of bitcoins, which is 21 million bitcoins, by solving puzzles. These puzzles are mathematically complex and are also solved only by you either using graphics cards, your GPU, or ASIC rigs that use electricity to operate. And you can use a processor as well, but processors are like the worst type of way to mine crypto with. They'll pretty much burn out your processor over time really fast. A graphics card or an ASIC rig, which is I'll tell you what ASIC is in a second on the next slide. That's why I put it there. But those two things, the best things to use, and you can put as many graphics cards, and you'll get more mining power to generate you more rewards as well. So what do miners do now? When a GPU or an ASIC miner mines on the blockchain, its job is to offer computer power to secure and validate transactions on the blockchain by solving mathematically complex cryptographic puzzles. You know, Other miners also compete to solve these puzzles while also offering their security to build up the network. And the miner that is successful in solving the puzzle gets a reward of 6.25 bitcoins, if it was Bitcoin that you were mining. And I just talked about it a few minutes ago. What 6.25 bitcoins equated to at this present moment, which was more than $200,000. And you don't have to mine just Bitcoin. You can mine Bitcoin, you can mine Ethereum, you can mine Litecoin, you can partake in other cryptocurrencies that have just come out as well and reap massive rewards over time when those cryptocurrencies start to build up as well. And you can become a super node, a master node, whatever, or you can stake your money and become a validator. A validator is someone that validates the transactions, and you get rewards. That's what staking is as well. And we'll get into that as well because there's a whole section for staking. But right here, that's what miners do. They mine on the blockchain using computer power to secure and validate transactions. And while they do these things and they secure your transaction to go through, they get paid the transaction fee that you pay. Some networks are very cheap in transaction fees, and then there's networks like Ethereum right now that are very, very expensive when a lot of transactions start to happen, when there's millions or hundreds of thousands of transactions happening every second. The gas fees could be, for a $30 NFT I tried to buy one time, I had to pay, they wanted me to pay at least like more than $200-300 in just a gas fee to push the transaction. There was no way I was going to do that. It just wasn't that valuable. That NFT it was too risky at that moment. So I didn't think to do that. So that's why there's other networks as well that are very cheaper because they use a different mechanism of validating transactions. And we're going to get into that in a couple of minutes as well. So how do you become a miner? To become a miner, you would need either the GPU, the graphics processing unit, or an ASIC, which is an application-specific integrated circuit. And you want to install mining software. There's mining softwares all over the place, like NiceHash or Pro Hashing. Like there's a bunch of random ones. I'm not too into it, so don't specifically go with the ones I just said, but do a little bit of research and check it out. I'll now that I say that, I should probably put some more. I'll add some more slides showing how you could become a miner as well and what applications would be good for you to use. But as of right now, definitely take some time to research that if you were interested in becoming a miner. Because one thing I know is every computer, if you play games on your computer and your computer is able to run pretty smoothly, you're able to do 60 frames per second playing Fortnite or whatever you're playing, you have a graphics card in your computer. And that graphics card is able to be used for mining as well. But it may not be as profitable, or it can be. There's websites that you can use to it'll tell you the analytics behind the specific graphics card or miner that you're using, and you input how much electricity your graphics card is going to be drawing, and how much electricity you pay per watt, if I'm not mistaken, or per I forgot what it was, but how much electricity you pay per measurement that they measure you by when your electricity company pays you. I mean, when they charge you, how much they're charging you based off of how much electricity you're using, per se, right? That was a mouthful. But you take that number and you can search that up online as well. Like Pico, for example. I'm not sure if it was Pico or whatever it is that, in my city at least, that looks at the electricity lines. You can search up your city and how much they charge per watt or however, whatever measurement it was that they charge up based off of. And once you input that into the site, then you can figure out, it'll calculate it for you and tell you if how profitable or if it may not be profitable at all. So the amount of coins that you get over time depends on the strength of your GPU or your ASIC miner, and the power it pulls consistently 24/7, so that it can allow you to calculate your profits over time. The measurement that your computer measures to find the profitability is called hash rate. Right? That's the rate of I guess electricity that's able to be used for mining your cryptocurrency, right? So you take that hash rate, you input that into the analytic website, and then how much you're spending on your electricity, and then you'll get your profitability or non-profitable number if you were interested in that. So now we have keys. So there's two different types of keys right now. There's a public key and there's a private key. A private key is a random string of a string, meaning a random line, just a straight line of 64 numbers and letters that act as a randomly generated, super hard to crack password, which gives access to a wallet. And that allowing someone to find out your private key could result in them entering your wallet, or will result in them entering your wallet and stealing all your assets, everything you own. So make sure you keep it hidden. It doesn't matter how close you are with that person at all. They don't deserve to look in your wallet. They don't need to be in your wallet. People are grimy. Somebody could, be in front of buddy with you, and right now, next thing you know, you get in this huge argument. You want to know where he keeps his wallet. I'm gonna take all his stuff. Yada yada yada. Don't let that happen to you at all. Keep your thing hidden, and even have multiple places where you stored your phrase, your private key. A private key is 64 numbers, and sometimes it's also a seed phrase. On certain apps, you can get a seed phrase that acts as 12 words, 12 or more words that are randomized. And when you input those 12 words in the exact order that it told you it in, it'll give you access to your wallet. It's like a password, but in the form of randomized words. So now a public key is sort of similar to a private key, in the sense that it is a long string of anywhere between 26 to 35 numbers and letters, but it doesn't necessarily act as your password, and it doesn't matter if people know it unless you don't want them to, because the public key is what people would it acts as the address people can use when they would like to send you coins or NFTs at any point in time. Every time you do a transaction, your public address is the address that's shown on the blockchain as a record of the transaction that happened. So what does a private key look like? I said the private key was more than 60. It was 64 numbers and letters. This is what it would look like. Not this exact thing right here. Everyone is random, like I said, but pretty much something similar to this, and just randomized letters and numbers. And whereas a public key would look something like this, more shortened, and on Ethereum and on some blockchains, your address usually starts with OX, was 0x, or I think that's a O, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 0. So there is no O's in the public key or private keys. There's no O's and I's, because of the reason being that the owner that created Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, he's anonymous. Nobody knows who he or she is, or the team. They don't know who they are. They just randomly disappeared. But one of the safety measures that they took to prevent people losing or forgetting their keys or mistakenly sending funds to the wrong address, the wrong place, is by taking out I's that may look like ones and O's that may look like zeros. So now it's just, ones and zeros and all the other ones, but there is no O's and I's to prevent any mistaking. So, because the last thing you would need is for you're going to do a big transaction, somebody send you their address, it's $1 million, and you're about to send it over to them, the money. I mean, yeah, you're about to do a transaction, $1 million, you're about to send it over to them, and they send you their address, and this 1 0 looks like a O, and then, or the O you think is a zero, and you put in whatever you put in because you thought it was this one, and now the transaction still goes through, and you lost it. You'll never be able to get it back at all. So now let's look at some safety. You want to keep your investments safe at all possible times. No matter what, it needs to be safe. There are a few things you can do to make sure that you don't have to worry about losing your investments or getting hacked. So let's name a few to begin with. Number one, you want to get a cold wallet. There's this thing called a cold wallet or a hardware wallet, such as Ledger or Trezor, and there's a couple other companies, but those two are like the major ones, the main ones, right? They range from about $60 and up higher. Some are, 200, 100, 300, or however much. And they're just a little dongle, or well, some are like little dongles, uh, or like what's it called? They look like little rectangle shapes. Some look like a key fob. And what they do is it pretty much acts as a safe for all your coins. It's not an online wallet. It doesn't stay online all the time. It only activates and is able to be used when you plug it in and turn it on. So um, that makes it very easy for you to keep your funds safe and not have to worry about somebody taking your money or finding your stuff. It's on a cold wallet and it's on you personally. You don't have to have it anywhere besides having it on you personally. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not too sure because I'm pretty sure they can, if somebody has a seed phrase, they can log on to it regardless. But the cold wallet is just, you won't have to have your seed phrase online in a random place or on a website. You can just have it on this device and then plug it in and it'll instantly log you in. So it makes it a lot more convenient for you to have your funds on there. And number two, if you're using an exchange to trade or hold assets on, make sure you're using a well-known and credible exchange. You don't want it your first time using an exchange to be the first time getting hacked, which can be very discouraging because there are exchanges that are very new, especially that have rushed the process of creating some just because they wanted to, join the hype and be in there. And next thing you know, their smart contract is not stable and secure at all. And bro, just a hacker could find one little line of code, one little exploit, or a memory dump, and they can figure out a way to literally just steal money, do flash loans, a flash attack, whatever they need to do, and they'll be able to just steal millions and millions and millions of dollars from you, billions. Like no matter what, they'll be able to take money from you, or like take the addresses, the wallet addresses from all these. The information to all these exchanges. They'll be able to take your username, your password, log into it, and swipe everything you own. And you don't want that to happen. So definitely make sure it's a credible exchange. Make sure that they've been proven to be they haven't gotten hacked probably yet, or if they did got hacked before, they have changed what they did and found out a reason why and they spoke on it. Don't just they got hacked before, but the hacker didn't take the funds anymore. He stopped. They didn't do anything about it, and you're just gonna keep using it. No, because it'll happen again. Make sure that company has done something about it and took time to make sure that it won't happen again, or at least in the same way. Because sometimes these hackers be very knowledgeable. They be looking at these smart contracts, studying them, looking at everything, just so that they could figure out a way to steal funds. It happens a lot more than you think. So that's why, even with me with Space Parasite, the NFT collection, I haven't even built my smart contract yet. I can deploy it right now and I can, advertise the shit out of it and have all these people in there. But I'd rather wait until I can hire somebody. Because, yeah, I can learn myself and everything, but I want to make sure that it is safe. I don't want all this liquidity to be put into it and people buy it, and then next thing you know, everything just gets stolen. I want to build a relationship with a professional smart contract manager or person that knows how to code these things, and then have him teach me how to do these things and make sure that a contract is stable. Um, you really want to make sure that anything you're investing into, they're not rushing into it. It's better for them to take 5 extra months if they need to, or extra year, than for them to release it within weeks, and then next thing you know, you ape into it with hundreds of thousands of dollars or 10,000 or most of your money that was supposed to go to your car note, your mortgage, whatever, and you wanted to flip that real quick because you know that they were going to do well. They may be a good company that can provide something very useful, but their smart contract is just shitty, and because of that, you lose all your money because they got hacked. You don't want that to happen. So make sure you're doing your research on that and make sure that their smart contract is stable. Number 3, when you've profited from your trades on an exchange or made extra coins from staking, a safe practice would be sending over a portion of the a portion of the profits or most of the profits to your wallet and using the leftover money for your next trading opportunity. That way, you can still be profitable, you can still be on exchanges, but most of the profit you're making, send it over to your wallet, keep it in there, and then you can go trade on, PancakeSwap or trade on other dApps, decentralized applications, where you can swap for another currency, and then you get that coin, and then the coin rises. Next thing you know, you're up 10,000 or 100,000 or $100 or $30 or $80, however much, and then you just swap it back to another cryptocurrency that you want to invest into, or you can turn it into Bitcoin or whatever, or turn it into a stable coin that stays at $1 no matter what, and that'd be like your safest way to wait for your next trading opportunity as well until you're ready, so that you don't have to go through price fluctuations. And then once you're ready, you just swap the tether for whatever currency you're gonna get, and then you let the trade begin. Number 4, make sure you are enabling 2FA, which means two-factor authorization, on any accounts that you may have on crypto exchanges. So that way, if somebody were to, find out your password, or somebody hacked a different website that wasn't even for crypto, but a data leak happened, they got your password in your email, and they tried using that same password and email on multiple exchanges. If you don't have a two-factor authorization, they'll find the exchange that you have your information on, and then they'll be able to log into your account with no problem. They'll be able to get in it just like that, and they can even switch all your details up. They don't even need to hack it. They'll just switch up your email, your password, and then they're fine. If you have two-factor authorization, even if they know your password and your email, they still can't get in because they have to get the 2FA number. And they won't be able to get that because it'll be on your phone or on your computer, and it'll prevent anybody that luckily guessed it from getting access to your account. To officially get an account, the person would need the code, and that code also changes every maybe 20 seconds or so. So that also makes it even harder for other people to hack you. So you definitely want to do that. That is a safety measure of all safety measures. Just in case, the exchange could probably get hacked, but if you have two-factor authorization, people won't be able to log into your account. So make sure that you are doing that, because that will be a lot more useful than you think it will. Now let's look at some apps that we could use. And that I recommend. So SafePal is one app that I recommend. SafePal allows you to buy, hold, trade, sell, send, and receive crypto, and gives you access to and pretty much any crypto really. As long as it has a contract address, you can get sent any crypto, even if you just made one. And it gives you access to a decentralized app browser straight from the app, so you have everything you need all in one place. And as you see on the right side, on the right phone, this is what the decentralized app browser looks like. We have the hot category that shows, like, I guess, the hottest apps. Then you have DeFi, which is decentralized finance, and some apps that are on there such as Uniswap, Compound, which is a lending and borrowing protocol platform, JustSwap, SushiSwap, Aave, Curve. A lot of the cryptocurrency, decentralized apps that have swap in them, They're pretty much just a decentralized app that allows you to swap your cryptocurrency to another cryptocurrency. Um, this makes it convenient for you. And some have more fees than others, so that's why doing your research and looking at these is essential. You want to save money as well while you're doing this. You'll make a lot of money, but you also want to save a lot of money. Um, and on the left side, this shows what the screen looks like for when you have your assets in your wallet. It'll show at the top left the amount of money you have, how much that equates to if you were to have that transferred to Bitcoin. And then it'll show all the coins that you that you want to monitor the price of or that you have owned. It'll show them right here. And this is what it looks like on the iPhone App Store: SafePal, Crypto and Big Wallet, and Bitcoin Wallet. Um, and yeah, so now the next app, MetaMask. MetaMask is also a crypto wallet that is used to store tokens, connect to decentralized apps, swap tokens. You can buy Ethereum, and you can surf Web3 using the in-app browser. Um, most most websites use MetaMask. A lot of websites you can connect to them with Trust Wallet, SafePal Wallet, all these wallets as well. But a lot of websites sometimes they mainly like natively have MetaMask to where you can log onto it. They haven't added the other ones on yet. MetaMask is one where it's very easy, and the only thing that I would say that is bad is you can only buy with your debit card Ethereum. If you wanted to buy, because on SafePal you can buy any coin you want with your debit card or your credit card. Um, but on MetaMask you can only buy Ethereum because the wallet was made for Ethereum. But you can also add different networks. So you can have an Ethereum network, you can have the Binance network, Polygon, all these other networks. But it's just you can't use your debit card to buy them on there, unless you go on to a website that will allow you to, like an exchange or so, and then you bought it through there. But other than that, you can't buy any other coins through the app besides Ethereum. And you can surf Web3 using the in-app browser as well, just like how SafePal has it. And let me check, like OpenSea as well. I'm pretty sure OpenSea. I don't know if you can log on to OpenSea. OpenSea is a NFT marketplace, and it's like the biggest one, the one where the most people go on there, and then that's where all the liquidity, where the majority of the liquidity that's being spent on NFTs is being spent on that marketplace. And so I think they have like MetaMask and like one other option or so to log in with your wallet, if I'm not mistaken. Or they might have Wallet Connect. You might be able to connect with it, but MetaMask is like the top one on there. So another app is called KuCoin that I just talked about earlier, where I was staking Clearpool for 100% APY. KuCoin is an exchange, but it's a centralized exchange, meaning you can buy cryptocurrencies, you can do all these things that you can do, like buying. It allows you to transfer assets to people, allows you to buy, sell, do futures trading, and leveraging more than 100x trades, which you don't want to do that right away. You want to understand what futures and what leveraging and all these things are before you end up blowing your account within minutes. There's events on there where you can partake in an event such as an airdrop, or partake in an event where there's a very high interest rate going on if you stake this certain coin, and it'll only be that way for maybe 100 days or however much. That there's events like that happening on there that you wouldn't really get if you just had your money in your wallet. They're not putting events up like that. So that's why KuCoin is really cool as well. They have the staking events, and they have portfolio robots. A portfolio bot. They have trading robots that can trade for you. They deem them to be profitable. I haven't tested it myself as well, so definitely if you were interested in that, research that first before jumping into it. Their portfolio robots, I know that they are good. You can there's a select list of portfolio presets that they do have if you wanted to do, if I'm not mistaken. And they do have ones where you can customize your own ones. So, and you can customize the percentage on them. So you can have a portfolio robot that will distribute, let's say you have 4 tokens. You have Ethereum, you have Bitcoin, you have Polygon, and you have Solana. Let's say these 4 coins, right? You want to have each one 25% of all the money that's in this portfolio robot. 25% will get distributed to each one. No matter when, even if they're in profits, they'll be in profits significantly, right? Like, let's say all of these are doing kind of Solana blasts up, and then the portfolio robot takes that money that blasted up and it sells it and distributes it 25% here, 25% here, 25% here, 25% here. It just maintains 25% no matter what in all of these and these four. So um, that's great as well. It minimizes you having to do all the work, and the robot would do it all for you. You can have different robots, like one for the metaverse. You can have one for NFT platforms for portfolio cryptocurrencies, and you can have one for, decentralized finance, and the robot can take care of it for you, which is very cool. And all of that is from one app. This is why I really enjoy KuCoin a lot more. I don't necessarily, me personally, I don't really use Coinbase much. They do have a debit card, which is pretty cool, and it makes it easy for, when you make money, you can just use your debit card. You don't have to send it over or do all these extra steps. But maybe KuCoin will have a debit card eventually as well. But I use KuCoin for that reason. I don't use Crypto.com or Coinbase and all those other ones, and they don't have too much staking options either, and they're very low. Um, Next one, the list of apps that I recommend. It's pretty much the same ones. But TradingView is one on here as well. TradingView, if you like to watch charts, if you'd like to look at stock or crypto analysis, look at other traders' ideas as well, and look at the candlestick charts and learn them, learn what candlesticks are, and just get an eye for the market and see what's happening and how things happen, what areas price goes to, and it bounces off of before in the past, and how it keeps doing it in front of you, and you're like, so I don't know, maybe next time it touches that, it might go up. So I'm gonna wait for it to show bullish momentum, and you buy. Like that's one case scenario of somebody that was very beginner to it, with support and resistance, that the price would have touched the floor, and they would have seen from the past it kept bouncing off that price, so they'll buy. TradingView is a platform that allows you to look at these charts, and it's very smooth and everything. It allows you to have a lot of features, price alerts, all these things. That's my favorite app for looking at any chart, any cryptocurrency that I'm looking at. And then there's KuCoin. KuCoin we talked about. SafePal we talked about. MetaMask we talked about. And Trust Wallet is a new one on here. Trust Wallet is a crypto wallet like MetaMask. These are all SafePal, MetaMask, and Trust Wallet. They're all wallets. The reason why I put 3 different wallets is because one, SafePal was the one that has the browser, and they also have it integrated with Binance, so you can do Binance futures trading and everything from there as well if you wanted. But they have a smooth interface. It shows me a lot of coins that I have. It'll show me the price of them that it wouldn't show me on MetaMask, or that it wouldn't show me even on Trust Wallet. So I mainly use SafePal. I used Trust Wallet in the past. That was the first app that I downloaded. The reason why I still use it to this day, the only reason I use it still, is because it allows me to buy, hundreds of other coins using my debit card as well, with a minimum of $50, which MetaMask doesn't support yet. That's the lowest one that I found, $50 minimum on a debit card. SafePal, right? You can buy with your debit card on SafePal as well. But the only problem I have with SafePal is their minimum kind of fluctuates. Like when I had looked at Binance, right? I was trying to buy BNB because I was gonna buy a cryptocurrency that was on the Binance blockchain network, but the minimum that I had to spend was around like $100-$200 in that moment. So instead, I just went on Trust Wallet, took the easy route, and I spent a minimum of $50. So that was an ease of access for me. And so that's why I use Trust Wallet, and all of them, they help me out. They work together to help me out whenever I need it. So a side note as well is there are other great apps out there. There are other apps that are great as well that may not be listed here. You know, these are just the apps that I found and that I've stuck with ever since I found them. You might know an app that might do everything that I've talked about. You know, if you do find something that's really good, let me know. But these are the ones that I found so far, and these are the ones that I know that can help you out and make sure that you can do everything that you need to do through these apps that involve crypto trading or that involve investing. So now, who's ready to kick it up a notch? Because now we're about to get into some real definitions, and you're about to learn really what some of these terms are in crypto and what it consists of. So, first one is staking. Let's take a look at that. Staking is essentially like depositing your money into a savings account with your bank. By holding your funds in the space, you in return earn interest on each coin that you have locked away for staking. So the technical definition of staking is based on locking up the coins you want to earn interest off into a smart contract. Once in the smart contract, your coins are used to now validate transactions on the blockchain, and you'll be rewarded for adding/filling up new blocks with these transactions. Like how I said earlier, the blocks are always getting filled up with transactions. The reason they're able to get filled up with transactions is because either miners are securing and validating these transactions, or people like me and you that don't have miners, we're locking up the coins that we own as if we were putting them in a savings account, but that savings account is the smart contract. And the smart contract uses our tokens to validate transactions and fulfill tasks for the network. And in return, we get rewards and we get extra cryptocurrencies for free from it. So generating money for ourselves. The APYs, the annual percentage, the annual percentage yearly that you can achieve within crypto, they're immaculate. I'm gonna be honest with you. The percentages ranging from 10% all the way to 90,000% APY at times. It sounds crazy. Trust me, it sounds crazy because you've never seen this before. You've never seen it before. Your bank, I'm pretty sure, doesn't even give you more than 5%. Sometimes they don't even give you more than 2% interest rate off of putting your money inside of a bank. You know, that 90,000% APY, it was there's one coin called Time. It was called Wonderland. And but the owner of it, he just got locked up recently. There was this whole thing because he partaked in this other exchange, if I'm not mistaken, that got hacked, and they linked him to being the one that was a part of it as well. So that was pretty bad, and they took their website is like not really working right now. If I'm not mistaken, the last time I checked it. But definitely you could take some time to look at it. But there's a lot of coins that have very high interest rates, and some are very unstable. But with Wonderland, it stayed around 80,000, 90,000, and very high. Even when price was at a certain range, it was that interest rate was still very high. And even if it was dropping, 1,000% every other day or so, it was still 80,000, 90,000, 70,000% interest rate. You can't complain about that, you know. It's crazy. So Futura Finance, a tip real quick. Futura Finance is this token and company. They allow you to get paid crypto dividends that are known as reflections. They call them reflections in the crypto space. And you can receive these payouts for your dividends in different currencies. So you can have, let's say, the way that Futura works is every 12 hours you can do a manual claim, and you can claim the cryptocurrency that you got for dividends. Or you can do a automated claim. The auto claim, you don't have to do anything. It'll just do it for you and then send the money to your account. But the thing is, the way that the dividends happen, right? The way that you get these reflections are the way that their smart contract is set up. You get these rewards based off of when people are buying and selling on the network. When people are buying and selling, the transaction fees, they get distributed to a wallet, and that wallet gets, or they that straight from those transaction fees gets split up and sent to everybody's reward pool, and it gets built up more and more and more. And once it hits this certain cap, this point, once it touches that, automatically does the transaction and pushes it for you. You know, If it doesn't hit that point, if there's not enough liquidity flowing through the market, you got to do a manual claim. You'll still get your rewards, but you got to do a manual claim. Um, and these rewards are based off of how much money is being pushed into the market. If a lot of money is being pushed into the market cap is flying up high, those rewards are gonna also go up higher. But if there's not a lot of rewards happening, I mean, there's not a lot of liquidity, it's not going to be too much rewards, but it's also going to be, you pay about $1 in transaction fees, you get a couple of dollars in free money. And you can get that payout in a bunch of different coins or two different coins if you wanted. You can split it either 50-50 between two coins or 100% on one coin. And there's a coin you can split it between, DKYC, XRP, Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum. There's all these coins, and you can take this one coin that you're invested into and get free money from it, and then you can build up a whole other coin and earn free money off of that one. And then next thing you know, when that coin pumps up as well, then you just gotta have an investment that just built itself up based off of a whole other coin that wasn't even related to it. So the way that there's so many different ways that you can earn passive income off of crypto trading. And this is why it's so amazing. It's so life changing. Now let's look at smart contracts. A smart contract is a digital program that is published onto the blockchain, and it delivers an agreed upon deliverable once the agreed upon deliverable requirements are met. So meaning, you know, if me and you, and well, I'll give you an example in a second. Let me just read this real quick. Now, all of this is done through code and is made to be automated so that it removes the need for third person involvement or fear of potential future corruption, ultimately allowing trustless transactions and contracts to take place. So that, meaning, if me and you were to, or me and a friend were to do a contract together, right? And we were going to open up a crypto company. And this company, we were going to split the profits 50-50. And we start building it up, and we're making a lot of money, a lot of money. But for some reason, he's envious that I'm making the same amount of money as him. And we're putting in work, but he's envious that we're making the same amount of money. He gets greedy and he wants more money. So he does something corrupt. He starts to, push arguments. We start to get in all these arguments, and just unnecessary, until one day an argument pops off and he rips the contract up. And he's like, "Know what? I don't even care about it. What contract? What 50%?" Rips it all up. And then he's like, "I'm gonna take it to court." That would make it a lot harder to, beat that case. But instead, if you had a smart contract, there is no third person involvement. There is no other person. He can't rip it up. He can't do anything. It's built into the blockchain. It's stuck there as code, you know. And unless you remove the contract, but it'll be there. And with the contract, or I'm not sure. I think contracts always stay there. You just don't use it if you don't want to use it anymore once it's published, right? But all of this is done through code. And let's take an example of a smart contract, right? Me and you want to do a transactions together. Me and you want to do a trade, and I have $1 million, and you have an NFT that I want, right? So the way that I would code this contract so that we can do this trade without worrying about us getting scammed or me scamming you or you scamming me is I would code in the contract. I would look at the NFT of yours that I wanted to buy off you. There's going to be a token ID. I copy that token ID and I put it in the smart contract, and I code into the contract that my $1 million will also be taken out of my account and it'll be sent to you. That'll only happen once the contract reads that you have this NFT in your account, when we both connect to it. So when we both connect to this contract, it'll read that, all right, Nick has the $1 million, and it'll read that this guy or woman or girl has the NFT ID that I need. Meaning now the contract is all the requirements are fulfilled, they're met. Now it can get delivered. So now the swap will happen, and I will receive your NFT, and you'll receive my $1 million without us having to have a third person involved in it, or without me and you having to meet up and do it and potentially rob me or me rob you. You know, we can do this transaction from halfway across the world with no problem. And as well, the transaction fees can be very, very, very minimal as well. So these are why smart contracts are so important, and this is why they can help so much. That was only one explanation of a smart contract and how it can be used. There's thousands and hundreds of thousands of ways that they can be used. And I definitely recommend, if you want to get into smart contracts, if you want to, build your own company and everything within the blockchain, take some time to figure out how contracts can be used and how coding can, make that happen based off of, if this happens, then that happens. That's the way coding works, and other things that they add into it. So decentralized apps are also known as dApps. That's the shortened term for decentralized apps. It's called dApps. What is a dApp? So a dApp is a shortened term for decentralized application, and a dApp acts as an application that operates autonomously through the use of smart contracts that we interact with as people. The smart contracts acts as the functions that do things on the dApp, such as connecting your wallet when you want to claim rewards, like how on Futura Finance, if you wanted to claim those rewards, you partake in the smart contract that allows that transaction, that trade, that swap to happen. You can partake in staking. Staking is you involved in a smart contract by locking your coins in a smart contract. Swapping coins, you are involved in a smart contract, and many more functions that decentralized apps will be able to do, like lending and borrowing and all these other things. They're all based around smart contracts. And so people can create an application that is decentralized under the blockchain, meaning, the government can't hack it, the government can't shut it down, the government can't do anything. It's all right there. And the smart contracts will act as the buttons that we press to make these things happen. And one thing, this is all little that, so that's what a decentralized application is. And one thought that I just had that popped up in my head is, decentralized, nobody, the government can't shut it down. So let's take that into account. Once something is published on the blockchain, it's always published on the blockchain. It won't go away ever. It'll stay there. So imagine somebody makes a book, or a site, a decentralized website, right? Do hosting on the interplanetary file share. It's pretty much a cloud that's decentralized, right? And somebody puts a PDF or a very long file filled with all the corrupt things that governments, that officials, all the very ridiculous things that the government and that high power people try so hard to prevent from being shed into the light. Videos of crazy things happening, murders, whatever, proof that can be used against people, and that won't be able to be taken off of you when you are telling people that you're gonna go do this if y'all do this, or if a high-ranking official, there's women that have gotten raped or that things have happened to, and when they'd say, I'm gonna tell the police, I'm gonna get your ass arrested, what yada yada yada, they'll just take that file, or they'll find her, break the phone, or worst case scenario, the person dies. But what happens when they upload that file, or all the proof that they have against the government, or the proof that they have against this person, this individual, and they upload it on a decentralized file share that anybody anywhere in the world can connect to and view it publicly? That'll prevent a lot of corruption in the world, and that'll be able to prove to people how corrupt the world really is in certain aspects. And I feel like that'll happen soon. And I feel like that is a very also amazing thing about the blockchain, is that it is power to the people. There's privacy, and there's the fact that nobody can shut down me doing this. If I want to do this, if I want to upload this, then I can upload that. Nobody's going to take that from me and take away my creativity and make me live by your societal standards. If I have the proof of some crazy thing happening and the government keeps on taking me off of social media and they keep on preventing me from putting it out there, all Google, yada yada yada, they're all preventing me from publishing this. They keep shadow banning me. That won't be possible if I put it on the blockchain. And that's why the blockchain is also so important. So now to the next slide. We're still on what's a dApp, but here I have a video that we can watch, or it doesn't let me go full screen, but here's a video of me logging into my MetaMask wallet and doing partaking in a smart contract in a decentralized app, which is Future of Finance. So as you can see, I just connected and I'm gonna do the reward claim. Now on the top right, the transaction has popped up. It shows me the gas fee I'd pay, and then I click confirm. Once I click confirm, now I wait a couple seconds, and it shows the amount of BNB that I received so far. And in a second, it'll successfully go through. Claim success. And just like that, I claimed my rewards, and I got the money for free. It added a whole extra 1,000 coins on DKYC, which was the coin that I have the rewards set to be distributed to. Okay. And now let's look at proof of stake and proof of work. So what is proof of stake? Proof of stake is a type of general mechanism or algorithm for processing transactions on the blockchain. This algorithm works by having a person lock up their tokens, staking, into a smart contract, which allows those tokens to be used as power to secure the blockchain and automatically fulfill tasks for you. In return for offering your help to secure the blockchain, you get rewarded coins that are also worth money. That's what proof of stake is in the most simple version. And we've also talked about staking and what proof of stake was multiple times in this video, but that was a set designation spot for it so that you can know exactly what it is. Now, proof of work is the same mechanism that we talked about earlier with mining. Mining is proof of work. That was the first algorithm that was brought into the blockchain. Proof of work is a type of general mechanism / algorithm for processing transactions on the blockchain, just like how proof of staking is. Except with POW, or proof of work, the algorithm works by you allowing a GPU, graphics processing unit, or the ASIC, the application specific integrated circuit, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it was called. The ASIC that is used for its processing power to validate the transactions of others and in turn help build the security of the blockchain. The proof of work mechanism is also known by the popular term mining, as we've mentioned towards the beginning of this course. Miners get rewarded small portions of bitcoins if they're mining Bitcoin the longer they continue to mine, and this algorithm is also what allows new bitcoins to be discovered and brought into the circulating supply of a max of 21 million bitcoins. So similar to how proof of stake works, in return for offering power to secure the blockchain, you get rewarded coins that are also worth money. And if you need another reason why, here's another reason, because I keep thinking of reasons of why Bitcoin and crypto is so big. Bitcoin is about 42,000 right now, right? It had a max of 77, like right at 70,000, right? A couple months ago. All the coins aren't even fully mined yet. They're not fully gathered, right? Now let's take this into account. There's 21 million coins. This is basic supply and demand, right? There's 21 million bitcoins, and there's 8 billion people in the world. Not everybody will be able to have one bitcoin, just even one. There's people that have thousands of bitcoins, and these people are going to be the richest people in the world. They're going to be the people, you think they can do whatever they want now. Eventually, they'll have billions and billions, and some people that have billions worth, they'll be hitting damn near trillions worth. And the trillionaires are going to be a normal eventually, like personal trillionaires. It'll be crazy. It's going to be big. And that's why I believe that Bitcoin will be able to reach more than 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. This is why a lot of people are faithful that it'll be able to eventually hit $1 million within the next 10 years. Because eventually, even getting zero point 0.1 Bitcoin or 0.01 Bitcoin, that's going to be an accomplishment rather than even getting just one Bitcoin. People will be glad to get 0.01 Bitcoin. So, definitely a better way to look at it instead of being like, oh, I don't have a Bitcoin yet. The other measurement for Bitcoins are called satoshis. It's the satoshis is like the a certain, I forgot how many decimals it is of a Bitcoin, but that's how Starbucks, that's how all these places, they're gonna start measuring transactions instead of them saying it's gonna cost you 0.0001 Bitcoin. They'll be like, it's gonna cost you 5,000 satoshis, and 5,000 satoshis could probably be like $3, $4, to buy a Starbucks coffee or to buy those fries from McDonald's. you know so that's another way you could do it, and you can consider, instead of buying Bitcoin, you're stacking sats, you're stacking satoshis. It's all about that mindset. um, so now here's some research tools that I recommend that you can use. One of them is called Messari.io. Messario gives us access to an online database for the crypto industry. This database provides us with quality research with real-time pricing, consistent news, candlestick charts, and the wide range of other charts extremely useful for insight within the blockchain and crypto market. You can look at, on the right side, I put a chart part of the website that shows charts for market, charts for the supply, charts for mining, showing how many new miners there are, all these different things, how many new addresses have come into the blockchain, how many unique addresses have just started owning zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, all these different things. Those are very good to know about, to see, because it's not always about the price. You can look at other things and you can determine, all right, the amount of addresses that are being that are gathering 0.1% Bitcoin, I mean 0.01 Bitcoin every day. You can start to, if that number is consistent a lot, you can scale that number up and see how many new unique address owners will be here and invested into crypto a month from now. These are insights that you're able to use and predict, and they can be accurate. This is how big companies are able to predict certain prices, or how Bitcoin will be at this price, and yada yada yada. Um, Over here they have their return on investment section, where it shows like all the different the ranking list of Bitcoins from first all the way down to their page 27. It shows Bitcoin's dominance right now. Bitcoin controls 42.87. Well, at the time of when I took the screenshot, it was controlling about 42.87% of the market. And you can check the top assets, or you can categorize it to decentralized finance, just looking at DeFi tokens or smart contract tokens. And then they have a section for research, where you can look at either all topics, and it's always getting updated. You can look at all topics. You can look at research for Bitcoin, specifically for Ethereum or DeFi or NFTs or Layer 1 or stable coins, Web3, all these different things you can look at. So CoinMarketCap, one of the sites that's one of the first sites that I started using when I first got into cryptocurrency. It gives you access to the info of more than 17,000 cryptocurrencies within the blockchain. And you can check the market cap, the circulating supply, the current price, the official contract address, how many holders own a certain crypto, and the info of what that specific crypto does, all from this website. So it's pretty much a website. It'll show you, the info right here. The website to go to Bitcoin is bitcoin.org, to see where you can buy it at, yada yada yada. The white papers right here, the source code for Bitcoin, communities for Bitcoin, all these things on every coin that's listed. It has all these things set, so you can look exactly. You can get right into the Telegram chat or right into the Discord chat and talk to people about that cryptocurrency. You can go right to their website. You can see their market cap that they are at right now, how much volume is happening within the 24 hours, and their circulating supply, all those things. So it definitely gives some useful insight for you. Lunar Crush is a social intelligence company that tracks activity across social media through scanning posts that are all in relation to Bitcoin or altcoins, you know, uh, decentralized finance that are just revolve around the crypto market. And it tracks what social media influencers have the most impact on the market when they tweet and when they tweet or post. So it gives you an extra edge when trading in the markets. So you can look at these pages, you can follow them all, put on their post notifications or whatever you want to do, and track them to see the most influential people. Like how you can see when Elon Musk, back in the day when Elon Musk, when he would talk about Bitcoin, or when he just announced that he stopped using Bitcoin for Tesla, Bitcoin just crashed it crashed a little bit, like pretty significantly. Um, he was an influencer. He was one of the top 10 influencers that was affecting the price. So, if you would have had now Lunar Crush and you saw, all right, who's this Elon Musk guy? So I see when he tweets about it, something happens. Whether it's buying or selling, whether price is dipping or price is flying up, you can profit on either way. You can do a sell position and profit on Bitcoin falling down, or you can do a buy position and profit off of Bitcoin going up in price. There's trading and there's holding. No matter what, you can profit off of this industry and trading, or just investing and holding your assets over a long period of time. So we reached the end of the course. That was it. I will be adding more websites in there. I will be adding more things in there. I will be adding, definitions for like Web3. It just dawned on me. I should add what Web3 is and how that'll be able to affect everything. Because, like how I said earlier, when people are, if they were to expose governments and expose these different things, or just post anything that they want with no restriction that it'll get taken down off the internet. They can upload it to the blockchain, but the way that people navigate the blockchain, they do things online on the internet is through Web3. You can go on websites regularly as well, but Web3 as well allows you to connect to websites with your wallet and do certain things. So like doing the decentralized apps and staking and all that. That's Web3 technology, connecting your wallet to that website and doing that. So I'll definitely add what Web3 is and all these different things. So I appreciate you for sticking. If you stick this far to the course, I bet you learned a lot, and I hope that you took down some notes on certain things. Even if you didn't take notes, screenshot the slides or keep the slideshow, download it, store it in your phone, and go over it again. Read over it yourself and read it out loud. Whatever you have to do, make sure that you are knowledgeable on what this is and that you can soak this information in, so that you can say it, you can speak about these things fluently whenever anybody asks you about what crypto is. And so that you can just be laying down in your bed and then you get a random thought process in your head that comes up with the next Amazon type of situation. you know it's very important that you do your research and that you take time to build your education on this. And so I will definitely keep updating this course, and I really deeply appreciate you for buying my course and sticking to the end. Um, I hope to see you soon. And if you are interested now in checking out my social medias as well, if you haven't already followed my social media, my Instagram is at Real Nick Reyes. My Twitter is this gas or what at the moment. And then my YouTube channel is Nick Reyes. So definitely check those out and shoot a follow and let me know how this course has helped you, if this course has helped you at all. All of that support helps me. If you recommend this course to anybody, if it helped you and you would recommend it to somebody, recommend it to somebody. Post it up and tag me, whatever you got to do. I appreciate the support though. Thank you.